Welcome into the den. I'm Tobin. My full review of the Oumo ST1. A little over a month ago, I purchased the 25 millimeter regular density and the 25 millimeter extra density, both in chubby handles. This is the third video in my new brush series format. If you haven't seen the other two, I'll put a link in the description to those. That was the Mühle STF and Frank's G8 in the Hendrix Classics handle. Let's get right into it. All the details of how I'm doing this is in those two videos. I want to get right into the nitty-gritty moving forward with this brush series. Regular, extra dense. Soft tips, 7 on both of them. The only difference we're going to run into is going to be backbone, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Face feel, 6. Backbone. So the regular, I've given it a 6, with 5 being average. Going up higher in number is more backbone. So a 6 on the regular, and I've given it a 7 on the extra dense. I prefer the extra dense, and that is what I'd recommend buying if I ever bought another one. An extra dense is what I would buy. When the regular is wet, it's a little floppy. Not bad, but enough that I don't like the floppiness of it. And that's something that I was warned about before I purchased these from a friend in the community. And so he, talked to me about buying the extra dense for that purpose, and he was exactly right. And that was Edward. Thank you, Edward, for that heads up. Your advice is exactly why I decided to do both of these. So a 6 on the backbone, a little more than average, and a 7 on the extra dense. With the ease of splay, I've given this also a 6. So that's how much pressure is required to be applied. If we go higher on the number scale, it is easier to splay. Lower on the number scale is harder to splay. So far the lowest I've given was the Frank's G8. That one was a 3 for ease of splay. And this extra dense is a little harder to splay than this guy here. So I've given the regular a 6 for ease of splay, and I'm giving the extra dense a 4 for ease of splay. I really, really like this. The fibers of the Oumo ST1 aren't quite as soft as the Mühle STF, but I do like the added backbone. So far, there's like no Goldilocks fiber that I've found, right? There's pros and cons with all of them. I really like the extra softness of these tips, but I do prefer this more natural feeling, stronger backbone that I'm getting with this extra dense ST1. Flow through. It's the same on both. I've given it a 7, and that is the same that I gave the Mühle STF. The retention, I don't notice any difference in that either between the regular and the extra dense. The flow on both of them is a 7, and the retention I've decided is a 7. I'm giving them a 7 across the board for flow through and retention. Value. Let's talk about prices, right? So for me, I'm going to focus on this guy here. Remember, the only price difference is $29 for the regular 25 millimeter and $35 for this. I took advantage. This was my first ever purchase from Oumo, and when you do that on their website, they have one of those things that you can sign up using your email, and first-time buyers you get a 10% coupon. So I did that, and they sent me a code. I used that code, and I saved 10%. So if we take the $50 for the handle, both of them are the chubby handles, and you can get these. They have a ton of beautiful handles. They really do. And you can even choose your own coin, rather, if you haven't checked out Oumo's website before. So $35 for the knot, $50 for the handle, but then we take off 10%, so that's $8.50, right? So 8, that's 77, $76.50? So $76.50. I think that's a very damn good deal. This is, if I had to say 2 fibers that were most like the real thing, it is easily these two. It's just whether or not you want the extra added softness of this tip or just the extra added backbone. I think it's a great deal. 5 being your average deal. Anything over 5, starting to really feel like I'm getting my money's worth. And for these handles, the way that they're made, everything about this knot, I'm giving it an 8. I think this is a damn great deal. I'm very happy with my purchase, and that's kind of the overall barometer that I'm using with this, is how happy am I with my purchase, and how satisfied do I think I'll be in the future with my purchase. And I love these, and I can't recommend them enough. The only difference would be, do you want the softness of the tips, or do you want a little bit more backbone? Other than that, the Mühle STF and the Oumo ST1, in my opinion and in my experience, are the 2 closest things to the real thing out there on the market, and that is being a silver tip fiber, because that's what both of them are trying to mimic. STF, silver tip fiber. ST1, ST is silver tip. So closest thing to being a silver tip. Oumo, Mühle, home run. Can't go wrong. That's my review. It's a little big thanks, my friends. Like being happy with your purchase. I think that's I hate buyer's remorse. And that's one of the reasons why I don't ever want to throw unnecessary FOMO at you guys ever. I always want to give it to you honest and real without overhyping anything. And I seriously try and be careful with that, because I don't want you guys to experience buyer's remorse. And I sure as hell don't want to be the cause of your buyer's remorse. Time and money, 2 of the most important things, right? I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for sticking around if you're still watching, and I'll see you guys soon from actually the bathroom. I think I'm going to do a shave. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.